The engineering pathway inspires students to question what's possible and prepare them for long-term success. Engineering students engage in hand-on activities, projects, and problems that are reflective of real-world challenges. This compelling approach empowers students to learn essential, in-demand skills validated by the world's leading companies, while also providing an invaluable connection between what students are learning in the classroom today and how it applies to the paths that they'll take in the future.
The introduction to engineering process is the design of engineering in using math and science and using it as an individual and as a team. We will use math, science, and other topics that we learn even in this room to learn how to solve real-world problems and get a better career in life.
In PLTW Principles of Engineering, you will work with a broad range of engineering topics like mechanisms, materials, structures, automation, and motion. You will work like an engineer to apply an engineering design process, and you will solve challenging problems, document your solutions, and communicate your works, and these skills will be beneficial for other courses and your future career.
The last class that you'll take in the pathway is Computer Integrated Manufacturing. And in that class, what you'll do is learn how to create some of the parts that you may need for the designs that you create in the other previous classes. One of the machines you may use is a lathe, another one being a milling machine, and the last one being laser cutter. These all have different purposes, and you can use them in different ways to kind of create all the parts that you may need, as I said, for the designs that you created. One of the places that you may get to do this is our robotics team. This is where you'll get to put all of what you learned in the previous classes together and actually get the chance to work with a team and create a robot that's much greater than you would have been able to complete on your own. Now, speaking of what you would do on your own, these are some of the robots and pieces of hardware that you'd get to work with. This being an example of one that you may use in Computer Integrated Manufacturing, where you'll learn how to pre-program very specific movements. This one being one you'd create in Principles of Engineering, where you get to start off and get to figure out how to put simple machines together to create a more complex machine. And this is an example of one that you may make in your later years, where you'll get to refine your skills and put together all of what you've learned previously and kind of showcase what you're able to do with all of that you've learned in the program.
At the completion of the pathway courses, students will sit for an end of pathway assessment. If a student scores 4 or above, most universities will waive the Introduction to Engineering course if that student decides to pursue a degree in engineering. We also have the Robotics Club, like Adrian talked about, which competes under the first global robotics competition. So here we have our large laser engraver, some of our older 3D printers, and some wood creations that we've made. And in this room, we have our workshop. This is where we complete most of our projects. You can see a ping pong table that was created by students. In here we have our VEX room, where we have most of our smaller parts for our smaller projects. And over here, we have more tools in the back room as well, which you'll be able to use. But that's it. We hope to see you next year.